Get it.
Welcome to Blockchain Basement. My name's TJ. We're gonna have a really awesome show for you guys today. Before I introduce everybody, we're gonna open up with some breaking news. If you can pull up my screen here, a truck loaded with Vicks Vapor Rub overturned on the highway. Amazingly, there was no congestion for 8 hours.
Oh, for God's sake.
Got him. Hold on. I think there's a cricket for that.
Yeah. So anyway, if you guys aren't following the punny world, you got to lighten things up on Twitter every once in a while. There's all kinds of different dark stuff. But yeah, we have a really good show for you guys today. We got Crypto Sunglasses, a.k.a. the Nick Tater, a.k.a. Nick Damondi, joining us again as a DZ fill-in. We've got Drew, a.k.a. Crypto Prepper, the lovely Hannah Hughes, the amazing magical Biscuit Jesus on the board.
Back in action.
Never know what's going to come out of his mouth or his hands, you know.
Oh,
I got him.
So anyway, yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. I went down the Twitter rabbit hole last night, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I've got enough stuff for probably 3 shows here. We were gonna talk about some interest rate stuff that I had pulled days and days ago. If it's not interesting enough for me to do in the last 2 days, I just got rid of it all. It's super boring.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about how the Fed's screwing all of us and how expensive mortgage rates are and how the housing market's basically at 2008 kind of levels when it comes to buy pressure.
It's even worse than that now.
Yeah,
it's gotten worse than that.
It's bad. It's bad.
if you're going to screw me, at least pull my hair.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What'd you got?
Clip it. Clip it.
You know, I know how to do it just right. You know?
yeah.
Just enough to where you feel it.
I know.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
the-
not
that's
my.
fantastic.
Never mind.
Let's keep going. Let's rip on this.
Yeah.
You
He
gotta
said it
go
was,
for more of the occipital lobe grab, but you know, whatever.
Okay.
Nick told Twitter it was going to be a sensual show today. So there you go. That was it. That was
All
your
senses now.
that was your stuff for the show. So anyway,
Corey
obviously-
Harden. That was hot.
Yeah, Corey's been trying to get on this for quite some time. Him and his wife. That's not even a joke. So anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. Obviously, you guys are part of the ones that make the show. We love hearing from you guys. We love your questions. We're gonna have a good lot to talk about today. So future crypto whale, love that name, and I 100% agree. You will get there. Solar Mine and Spade, Captain Daddy, Paul Mark, David Valdez, Crypto Kilowall, This is the Bitcoin way. Paul Mark, Justin Ebanks. We got Wade in Idaho, Corey Harden, Ralphie 227, Big Hands Dan with an awesome compliment. You kind of made me blush last night when I read that on Twitter.
Oh.
I saw it when I was doing all the prep for the show. I was like, oh, look at this, Big Hands Dan. That was very nice. He said he liked me. They liked me. So,
Hey.
Chemistry Bro, Crypto Tony, Enzo Mining, Quick Reflex, the real Crypto Stevo, one of our top mods, of course, as always, Razmataz. Daily Crypto Tony with our GitHub daily development update. We got Ethereum coming in at number 1. A lot of reasons why. We got Cardano sliding up into the number 2 spot. That's interesting. I wonder if they've got some updates coming out. Polkadot Kusama number 3, Status number 4, ICP number 5, Chainlink 6, Cosmos 7. Big vote coming up right now on Cosmos ecosystem to update and change a lot of things. A lot of our research guys feel very strongly that will just point blank make Cosmos better than Polkadot. So that's coming. I believe the vote opens or is it open on the 7th? March 7th, I think, was the date that's in my head, and might go from the 7th to the 21st. Yeah, it's shining. We got a lot of lights going on here, but it's you don't need them. I need them to make me not look so tired and old because I stay up late reading Twitter all night. So, but here we are. We're gonna look at. So let's look real quick at the markets. Whoop. Looking at my search history there.
Yep.
Actually, it's not mine. This is not my computer. Oh, we got Bobby, our creative director, lurking. What's he doing? Oh, sound checking.
He's probing.
Oh, I'm gonna talk a lot louder here in a minute. So, he's not sound checking.
Device.
Oh. All right, so we got Bitcoin coming in at 23.8. It's a perfect day. We're on a pullback here. Perfect day to start observing some different altcoins that maybe we could scoop, which is why we're going to be talking about that. We still got stacks moving. Engine had a pump today.
Why?
Why did Engine pump? That's a good question. That was one of the questions in our research group
I could
today.
not find out why.
Nobody could. OP, we know why. Based, if you guys are base, I guess you said we could have a base episode today. But Coinbase with a layer 2 scaling solution, potentially in test network, getting built on the OP optimism stack. So something to keep an eye on. Part of what I was reading about last night, I think it's one of these 50 tabs we've got up here today. Definitely don't want to buy into a pump generally, but I'm just tired of waiting.
Raven coin, baby, yeah, boy.
Yeah, I'm buying Mina's on a slight pullback right now. I actually bought some Mina protocol today. I know I talked to you guys about it a few weeks ago.
Nice.
Never really started building my position. Watched it go from I think 72 cents all the way up to $1. So shame on me for not buying it when I first started talking about it. But you know, it's if I took all of my own advice, I'd be a lot more well off. So, but you know, I'm doing all right. I'll hang in there. Not too much pulling back today, so that's actually decent for alts. But we're gonna dig into some deep alt picks. You guys know I'm some of them haven't even launched yet. You guys know I'm on the ZK narrative train right now. We got a lot of layer 2s on Ethereum, but a lot of those things also have ZK implementation. Oh, hey, this is the Bitcoin way. So thanks to TJ, I got it at 75 cents. He's talking about Mina Protocol there. So there you go.
Yep.
You took action. I just talked. And
So
that's
did
why
I.
action pays and talk is cheap. That's what I say all the time.
TJ, is this a new phenomenon for you having what's the opposite, whatever the opposite of FOMO is for this bull run, or was this always kind of
Domo?
been a thing during the
Emo?
the bear market where you're like, oh, I should buy that, and then 90 days later it pumps like 500%?
Yeah, it's probably new because I've been building much bigger positions in Bitcoin and Ethereum than I ever have in my life.
Yep.
So, and it's like every time I go, like, oh, I'm going to just buy this Ethereum and then I'll convert it to this altcoin later.
Yeah.
And then I don't because I'm like, oh, I'll do it later when I get home. I got to go to this exchange or do that exchange. I got to create a new account, you know. And so I didn't.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Mina wasn't on any of the exchanges I use regularly. But you know, it's on BitGet, so I do have a BitGet account, and I was doing that. Man, we got all kinds. We got Brian from the 24/7 Hidden Network channel lurking. We got an audience behind the screen,
Live studio audience.
Yeah. So real quick, we'll read through some of this stuff. We've got an overlooked source of the BTC supports its price floor. It's pretty interesting. The two threads of doom are weakening macro environment, which people tell me about all the time when I'm talking about the price going up in the future. Saying, oh, well, what about the macro? We've never been in a tightening scenario like this before. The Fed, you know, basically they're talking about weakening macro environment and structural fragility, Fed upon each other with price drops, unmistakably faulty disclosures, risk practices, the incentive constructs. Oh, look at Brian's sexy face.
Brian,
You can't avoid the camera now. Brian the beard, as they say.
Do you use beard oil?
Bitcoins and beards.
Beards. No, that was a different podcast that we used to. For those of you who know, beards and Bitcoins. Yeah, we'll leave that one alone.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wait. It was Young Dumb Crypto. That was
Brian and I were young dumb crypto
My
back
bad.
in the day.
My
We're
bad.
still dumb. We're still in crypto, but we're just not quite as young anymore. But
fact.
TJ, can you post the Twitter link on how to get the Arbitrum airdrop? I've done that a few times, but sure, if I might have another thread here that I could share with you guys. Basically, just interact with the Arbitrum network. You know?
I added it to my MetaMask this morning too. That's another way you can add the network to your MetaMask this morning, interact with it. And, you know, there's a couple picks there's one pick Johnny brought up this morning that I'm probably going to cut up an ETH and put it in there. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we're going to spin. I have so much to cover, so we're going to spin through this stuff pretty fast. I'm not going to read all of it. Those of us that have been paying attention know they're wrong. Bitcoin is not just for speculation. It's a speculative asset, sure, but there's a lot more to it than that. And the really interesting thing that I saw in here, while any of these holdings could be sold at any time, and many probably will be, the BTC price continues to rise. These address owners are not pure speculators. For them, BTC is a long-term investment, a store of value, a hedge, whatever you want to call it. For them, Bitcoin does have utility beyond the short-term speculation. So it's an asset that has a multi-utility use case. It gets compared to gold. It gets compared to real estate, which again have generations of market understanding behind it. So, and a lot of people view Bitcoin, people like me view Bitcoin the same way. And people with a lot more money than I do the same thing. They're not buying it just for the short-term speculation on the hype. That is one utility of it, but the next utility is really digital ownership. You know, you hear Michael Saylor compares it to buying real estate in Manhattan, you know, in a digital world and all that sort of stuff, and it's always valuable. And so this is really the chart in this whole article that was interesting. This below chart from Glassnode color codes accumulation according to address size. Purple represents large holders accumulating. Yellow shows that smaller participants are becoming more active. Back in November, after BTC dropped to 16,000, large holders were buying the dip. So you can see, look, when it gets darker, you know, okay, this would have been the probably 3 Hours Capital, Terra Luna collapse. Boom, they bought a lot. And then they waited, they accumulated, it went back up. They didn't buy as much. Smaller wallets did. Smaller wallets bought this dip. They were still waiting. They probably had some inside knowledge about what was coming. There was whispers about FTX collapsing and the contagion before it happened. And then boom, when it actually happened, major accumulation here under the $20,000 price point. And then again, it let off a little bit as prices went back up. So the richest, most wealthy holders of Bitcoin were accumulating the most Bitcoin at the absolute, what I believe is going to be the absolute bottom in that $16,000 price range. And so I like looking at different data in different formats. And this is one that just makes it very easy to see, okay, the people that know this market the best bought the most at $16,000.
If you compare that chart right there, just its geometry and its slope to other bear market bottoms, it looks so similar.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
just
agree.
that stuttered down, and then now we're in the flat kind of easing up phase. That's where
And you
we're
get a
at.
little U shape right here at the absolute bottom where you're there not too long, and then you get a recovery.
Well, Nick said that's a little bit of the ooh-woo shape.
I mean,
Did I say that?
It looks like a ball sack pattern to me when you zoom it out.
Jason Casper
if
says
that's what
the
your
man
ball
boobs.
sacks look like, Drew, I don't know what to say.
I
to
didn't
that.
say it. It wasn't me.
That's the man boobs.
Another reason, this is kind of what I was saying. Another reason why many seasoned investment veterans don't quote unquote get it is that what they read in the media. Sharp price moves, uncovered fraud, exploits, and examples of hype market make for dramatic headlines, which get clicks and keep the media business models afloat. It's easy to see how those without the time or interest to dig deeper would take that as the whole story, especially when they are used to feeling smart. And I've experienced this in my day-to-day life. No disrespect to a lot of the other guys that I go to this C12 thing, which is for CEOs or business owners of 7-figure revenue companies or more. And all of them were kind of, they've got a lot going on. They've got a lot of stuff they've got to manage in their day-to-day. They're very sharp individuals. They understand, capital. They understand cash flow. They understand a lot when it comes to finances. But all they really know about Bitcoin is these headlines. Oh, isn't there all this fraud? Isn't there, major collapses? Isn't there insane volatility? Isn't it very risky? And it's like, no, it's risky not to get involved, in my opinion. It's not risky to be involved. If you're just staying in dollars, in my opinion, that's a lot more risky and not being diversified across other digital assets, as we know we're in more and more of a digital world. So,
wasn't that a Madonna song?
What?
Let's get digital. Digital.
Hell yeah.
Is that where you were going?
That's not how the song went.
And this kind of sums it up pretty well. I wanted to kind of bring this up and talk with you guys. Some people think trading and investing is gambling. Every decision you make with your money is a gamble. Choose not to invest, you're gambling that cash won't get eaten by inflation. I'll bet on the guy willing to do the work to grow his wealth every single time. And that's all of you guys here in the chat. Pat yourselves on the back if you're here watching right now. It's everybody here in this room. And I just wanted to get your guys' take on that, because it is something you hear all the time. Like, oh, you're gambling on altcoins. Aren't you just speculating? They call it the, Bitcoiners love to call Coinbase the shitcoin casino or whatever. And it's like, sure, you can call it a gamble. You can call it speculation. You can call it investing. You can call the stock market gambling. A lot of people, for some reason, don't see the stock market and crypto markets the same. I generally do.
You know what I don't have to speculate on?
What's that?
Inflation fucking us.
Exactly. Well, and we probably want to be careful with too many strong language, or we'll get limited ad suitability like we did yesterday. But
inflation's being mean to us.
Yeah. Well, you can say effing us. You can say ramming us up the rimrod or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Some guy wants to
inflation
join
giving
my
us an
live.
involuntary colonoscopy.
There you go.
Involuntary colonoscopy. Hey, Hannah, does anyone in your generation gamble? Like, do they do that?
Yes.
How do they do that?
A lot of influencers right now gamble on Twitch. Like, the gambling companies will give them money, and they gamble with that money and have thousands of viewers watching them, whether they know that it was like sponsored or not. Gambling's a big deal for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Where's the hello?
someone just joined my
Someone's
TikTok.
duetting crypto sunglasses on TikTok. So
Hey.
welcome to the basement, Mr. We should turn that volume down.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. It's just going to distract me.
What's up, man?
Life is a gamble. I just want to ask you guys, do you guys share that sentiment that every decision you make with your money is a gamble? Drew?
I mean, no one gets out alive. You only have so many jelly beans to spend. I can bet that more tyranny is going to come, more inflation. So, like sitting back and just like purposely renting when I could be purchasing a home right now would be just a death sentence. In my opinion, if you can get out of the renter's class and get into owning assets, that is the absolute move to do, because right now what I see happening is the middle class is being turned into the lower class en masse, and there's only going to be a few within that class that are going to escape that toil and torment of staying stuck to your job for a Social Security that's not going to be there. And we're, now we see we're covering pensions for countries that we're, proxy war in. It's going to get really tight on the financial monetary side until another Bretton Woods happens, and then it'll be good for 30 or 40 years. And that's just how I feel. Like if I were to be sitting on the sidelines, I'd be doing my children a disservice by not giving them any sort of financial footing in the future to come. So
major facts. I really, that's good stuff there. And actually, great foreshadowing of some of the stuff we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes. Also, real quick, we've got about 250 people watching on YouTube. If you could just stop what you're doing for 1 second, smash that like button. And if you're watching anywhere else, follow, do all the things. Even if you're on Twitch, if you could hop over to YouTube and hit the like button, we really, really appreciate that. Helps get this message out to more people. We're, exactly to Drew's point, what we're saying, we're trying to help people change their financial future, get freedom for themselves, get stuck, get out of being stuck under the thumb of inflation, which is exactly what it's designed to do. It's designed to keep you working harder and harder and harder to produce more and more and more while never getting ahead of that curve. Like we talked about yesterday, you want to do things that get time on your side instead of time working against you.
Right.
If you're just working day in and day out for a paycheck and you're staying and all of your savings are in dollars,
Yikes.
You're not going to really get ahead if your savings are in dollars because those savings are losing their buying power over time. If you put them in something else that's gaining buying power over time, like for me, that experience has been Bitcoin and Ethereum have been the strongest assets I've ever owned that have gained, and there's been some other things that have done pretty well too, but those two far and away have been what made the biggest difference for me when it came to changing my financial future, my options, my freedom, because they gained purchasing power over time. If you look at real estate priced in Bitcoin instead of priced in dollars, it's getting cheaper.
right.
It's taking less and less Bitcoin over time to buy a house outright cash, and it's taking more and more dollars over time. You can buy the same house today for less Bitcoin than you bought 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
Compared to dollars, it's taking 30, 40, 50, 60% more than it was just 2 or 3 years ago. And so that right there should show you the difference of getting time working for you versus time working against you. And like you said, we've only got so much time on this earth. We got to make every moment count. We have to make again time on our side. So there we go there. So we got this guy here.
Wow.
Yeah. This guy,
Dude, ChatGPT really messed up on that design.
yeah, this is DALL-E really went haywire. I told him, make me somebody that looks like a Batman villain like the Penguin just in today's life form, and here we are. It's
Minus like 4 cervical vertebrae.
Yeah, Oswald Cobblepot right here, chief of the, let's see, he is, chief of the BIS, or head of the BIS, which is Bank of International Settlements. Today, which is yesterday, said
No, I'm pretty sure that's binge-eating international society. Jesus.
Yeah, he's something.
There were actually 3 heads of the BIS, and he ate the other 2.
Right.
Yeah.
They combined, usually there's the 3-headed monster. This is one, 3 bodies, 1 head, don't look that one up on YouTube. This guy is the head of the BIS. Today, he said Fiat has won the battle against crypto. Technology doesn't make for trusted money. And then this guy says hot take, he's not entirely wrong. And I agree with this is Mike Novogratz here. He's a major investor in all sorts of different crypto things. So I think Carstens has held a stubborn view that just doesn't hold up to the facts. In the past 10 years, tons of fiat currencies have depreciated by over 50%. He of all people should know this. And BTC and ETH have appreciated a ton, which is exactly what I was just talking about. There are 200 million people that trust Bitcoin. And, for those of you who know, I think the average lifespan of a fiat currency is around
70 years.
70 years, 75 years, something like that.
Yep.
So fiat is not winning the battle. It's failing continually over time. Time and time again, we see fiat currencies end up going into hyperinflation. We've seen it more today than we've seen in any other point in history. Obviously, a lot of it's due to the dollar inflating. When the dollar inflates, all these other currencies that are pegged to the dollar inflate more. So every time we print more dollars, we're literally extracting value and extracting capital from citizens of countries all over the world that their currency is pegged to our dollar. So this whole altruistic, we're here to help people and help the world spin that the United States puts on things is just completely false, which is why many other lesser powerful, less resources countries have a very negative view of the United States, and it's because of the way we, economically pillage their countries and take all of their resources from them through trade and through economy and through really the federal banks, the central banking systems, and the lever of raising and lowering interest rates and the monetary policy of printing. That was, in my opinion, an active trade war that we experienced really at the end of 2019, all through 2020. We're like, oh, you guys want to go to battle?
Yep.
Watch this. We just print a ton of money and we're going to spend it and use it to buy all your resources, and all the money in debt you're holding for us is now can buy less resources. So now we have all the resources, you have all the fake paper, joke's on you, mother chuckers, and that's that's why a lot of people hate us. And it's just the facts of the world. It's why we have the power that we have. It's why they hold so strongly to keeping the US dollar as world reserve currency, because without it, we actually have to produce stuff. We actually have to manufacture. We actually have to contribute more than dollars and consumption to the world. And right now, that has been our major contributing factor. Like Novogratz said, this guy of all people should know that. And he's just fudging the numbers. He's giving he's posturing. He's giving a false sense of confidence and victory when he knows this is coming, because they don't want people to realize. They want to just make broad statements like this and push it out. And it gets pushed out over all kinds of media, because a lot of these people influence or are owned by, own these same media publications. When you start, looking at that, centralization of media, it's pretty insane as well. A lot of the people that control the money supply also control the media, which means they control the messaging, which means they control the public perception, and they can do a lot of different things. So
quick derailment.
Yes, derail me, baby.
So, so Beautiful Disaster is asking about certain dexes on Cardano. So
there you go.
A great website here is actually Cardano Cube. And if you want to see all the different dApps and everything else that are going on here, but the one that you were mentioning is Sunday Swap. One a lot of people use is Muesli Swap as well.
Yeah,
and some of these other ones.
MinSwap has the highest TVL.
Yeah, MinSwap's pretty sweet. But yeah, this website is
What is it called again?
Oh, it is CardanoCube.io.
Okay.
Cube? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cube.
That's nice.
And then you can look at the NFT projects as well. But this
no,
website is super delicious and very nutritious in crypto knowledge.
Yeah. Are there seed oils in it?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
It's based off of real facts.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Just real quick before we move on, when it comes to fiat currency, and this is something something I'm very passionate about, because this is something that really
I couldn't tell.
I woke up to this when I got into crypto, and I feel like a lot of people out there, I would hope, are having a very similar experience. I didn't know what fiat was before, before I got into Bitcoin, before I got into Ethereum, and you start looking at so fiat means these type of currencies that are based on, you go look up fiat. It just means, it's a Latin word, means kind of like by force, it's basically forced upon its people. You have no choice in it. You have no freedom, which is very anti-American, really, in a lot of ways. We want free market. We want options. We want freedom. So before we move on, I just wanted to hear how much understanding did all of you guys have of fiat before you got into crypto, or really the money system, the way it works currently? Or was it Drew, I know you came from precious metals. Was is that where you woke up to that? Or
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a combination of things. I understood to a degree that the Federal Reserve is just printing, and they've essentially digitized the current fiat system as it is anyways. I mean, if you look at the dollar, it has a SKU number on it, and they just track how much they printed. But I felt like the major push from the Federal Reserve and from the World Economic Forum would be in the control and destroying the privacy that we have with cash. So that's what made me look at Bitcoin. Hey, baby. And then, beyond that, thinking back in the history and reading about the history of money, it wasn't dinosaurs that were cutting cows in half to trade with each other. Eventually they went from cows as a currency to salt, because you could divide the salt. But then you get to the thought process, we can fix this financial system with gold. But think about the divisibility of gold. It's not
and the
very
portability.
divisible. Exactly. You can't move across the country quickly with a bunch of gold. And, when people are moving money around in large sums, that's where it started to click to me that, paired with how the entire economic engine is moving into an online commerce situation, and that you can't divide gold, and there's not really a basket of assets that are reasonable. I mean, oil is what we say it is right now, but it's really military might, and that's not going to last forever. So, I really got into crypto because it clicked in my mind that there has to be a divisible, fast transfer of value that will fit in with this online commerce situation that we've now found ourselves in. So absolutely.
Nick, what about you? I know you're a cultured, smart individual. You're a reader. You're a knowledgeable man. What was your was it understanding fiat that brought you to crypto, or was it crypto that helped you understand fiat?
So I had terrible financial hygiene for most of my life, and that's unfortunately, like, my dad is really good at money and has paid cash for the last house that he bought. I never really picked up on that, and he tried his best to impart it to me, and it was really, like, honest to God, I was just floating through life like a normie, just looking at money as a thing to buy things until flu season. And I had a lot of time on my hands, and I had a baby on the way, and I watched a video by Max Kaiser. He was going on a rant on CNBC. This was like 11 years ago. Going on a rant about the dollar going to zero. I was like, what the heck? The dollar's not a zero. The dollar's a dollar. What the heck are you talking about? Right. And then I went down the rabbit hole. I had all the time in the world. And yeah, it was like I took the red pill. I smelled the smelling salts, and now I see it for what it really is. It's just a debt ticket. That's all the dollar is. And the only thing that makes you wealthy are assets. So yeah, it took a long time for me to actually figure that out, but man, am I glad that I did.
I got a song coming out about exactly what you just said.
Hannah, what about you?
I could actually go on a tangent about this.
Do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was flu season for me as well. I was kind of trying to figure out exactly what all was going on and why everybody had such extreme opinions, and why stores weren't accepting cash as payment anymore. I was like, so in the future, are we not going to print dollars anymore? We're not going to be able to use these? Like, this is all I've ever known for my whole life, but it makes a lot of sense because I would order most things online. They want to be able to track where our money is going, obviously. So I was like, money is not going to exist anymore. And I started to get really anxious about just everything that was going on. I was like, we're not seeing the whole picture. We're being fed information that they want us to know. And I was anxious about everything, actually. I was like, even my family was kind of concerned. And I ended up, I found you guys at my school. I found BitBoy Crypto, and I showed up at my interview, and I kind of like poured all these emotions to Justin and DZ, and they were just like, everybody around me before this had kind of looked at me like I was crazy when I would go off on these tangents. And Justin and DZ were just kind of like, yep. And I was like, okay, I found my people. Like, thank God.
That's 100% true. When you feel like a crazy person when you're talking to other people and nobody gets it, and then you get in. That was my favorite. I used to go to a lot of in-person meetups. This pre-flu season when I was in crypto, and you get to crypto events and you get to these meetups and you have these conversations, and you're like, oh, these are my people. They get it. These people think the same way. They're like, I'm not insane. This isn't coming out of nowhere. One of my good friends, what kind of made it click for him is he said he was talking to somebody else about it, and he just simply asked him the question, well, do you think we're going to use paper money forever? The whole rest of the world is digital. Why would we stay on paper money forever? And just that question alone was enough to get him to go and think and move down the rabbit hole. And then, then you start thinking like, well, what is digital? Oh, most things are digital. Oh, okay. Well, this is fiat. This is how it's printed. This is how it's made. Real quick, scroll back up on the YouTube chat for a second for me, PJ.
Oh, okay.
There was something.
YouTube chat.
Yeah, YouTube chat or attic chat, I guess I should
call it. I
have
a funny Hannah story when you're done with that.
I'm scrolling
wait, too far. That's good, right there. Oh no,
the super chat.
No, we can read the super chat. Justin Pokeran says, "Can I buy Arbitrum?" No, you can't right now. You can only interact with the network and try to get the airdrop. You will hopefully be able to soon. They haven't announced it, but yes, you hopefully you will be able to soon. And then what were you going to say, Nick, before we move on?
Oh, this is my funny Hannah story. Hannah knows this, but when Hannah first started, I didn't like her at all. I thought Justin and DZ just basically hired like some dumb Instagram model. And,
no, that was me.
Harsh.
I know. I was very mean.
Nick is very judgy, by the way. We haven't figured this out yet. He's a judgy guy.
I'm actually not judgmental. I'm a zealot.
Oh, okay.
So
call it whatever you want.
Once I come around to you, then I'm just like, then you're in the fold. But yeah, I didn't like Hannah when she first started, and Justin said, Nick, you've got this completely wrong. And I was like, Justin, you're an idiot. And then literally like after the first week, I was like, I've got this completely wrong. And now Hannah's like a sister to me. So it's great. She's fantastic. She runs the board on Around the Blockchain.
Yeah.
She's a great person.
She does a good job. You've been with us for how long now?
Over a year and a half.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Got that crypto ASMR. A lot of people
want it.
Bullish on the crypto.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We'll go to 1 million subs in 6 months.
Yeah, there you go. There was one other thing, but I can't remember now. So, all right. So here we go. We'll talk a little bit about the Fed, and then we'll move into some not so deep stablecoin pick, or not so deep altcoin picks, and then some deeper altcoin picks.
Hopefully we don't have any
The not so deep one was a Tether.
Yeah, Tether.
No, I mean they're like mid range. You'll the ones that everybody will probably have heard of, but
if they're not proof of work, I don't care.
Well, you're gonna miss out on a lot of things, Nick. I'm sorry. So here we go. The Fed says there's a quote unquote good shot they beat inflation without creating a recession. But how do consumers stay strong when mortgage rates are 7%, food prices are at a record high, companies are firing people, inflation is barely decreasing, which I tend to agree with. They're putting a much more rosy picture on this.
Yeah.
There is going to be some pretty substantial people. I think, and I've said this on the show several times, the markets have experienced most of the recession, because the markets front run it and they price it in, and we've experienced most of the dip that's coming in assets and prices and Bitcoin, speculation, non-speculation, risk on, risk off, all that stuff has all done, the majority of it's pulling back.
Yeah.
A lot of portfolios definitely got wiped out, but that's not really where you feel it. You know, the everyday person, middle class, lower class, upper middle class, whatever you want to call it, they're the ones that are going to feel mortgage rates. They're going to feel food prices. They're going to feel, losing their jobs.
100%.
And then inflation, it's not really decreasing. It's just maintaining. It's holding. And they're going to wait and they're going to measure it year over year and be like, oh, look, we're back at 2% inflation. Doesn't mean we reverse the 50% inflation we just experienced. Right. It just means we're holding consistently inflating at a much, much higher percentage than we've ever been at any point in time.
This is Nick's gravestone. He died.
Yeah, Nick will be back soon. RIP, RIP. But so yeah, buckle up, guys. If you don't own a house yet, it's not going to get any easier. If rates aren't coming down anytime soon when it comes to mortgages. Unfortunately, here's probabilities here for Fed rate cuts, easing basically off the table. Rate cuts or, price easing is not coming. Yeah. Potential for no change. Also not very likely based on the minutes. Now, I think once we get into these numbers will change. Once we get here into July, June, July, September, I think they will. There is I believe 100% is pretty strong. I'd say 90% rate hike coming in March, 90% rate hike in May. I think 25 basis points on both of those. There could be a pretty good likelihood they continue, maybe do another 25. I think they're going to do exactly what they said they're going to do, and then they're just going to hold. There is a small chance for some change in December, which maybe I think really there's a 0.23% chance of easing in December. I think that I'm putting the probabilities at much higher than this. This is just based on where things are now in today's minutes and numbers, but all of this stuff changes every single day. I just thought it was an interesting, what the heck? Were you pointing at chemistry, bro?
Yeah, he just blew something up again.
My reaction vial just exploded. LOL, BJ, I accidentally sealed a reduction with, what does that say? NaBH4
and hydride
and neo.
I can't remember.
Just a mini H pressure explosion. No one's heard, so it's okay. Wow, chemistry bro, always cooking up something, blowing stuff up in the lab. Yeah, love it when that happens. Chemistry bro, I wish you could come do that here and we could actually if something explodes in his lab, we need something to make it look like an explosion here in the basement. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
The Bit Lab could look like something.
Chemistry Bro, one of our core members here in the basement for sure. He's right up there with Corey Harden, Razmataz, Manawak. They're always here. Nakodu.
He doesn't watch Around the Blockchain, so I'm a little butthurt about that.
Well, there's not as many. He's a charts guy. He's a trader.
Yeah, Garrett's always on tonight.
He's a trader because he's not watching it.
Garrett can't make it.
Gareth can't make it tonight.
Yeah. How was was anything? You were on morning show. I didn't do the morning show today. How was it? What did Blockchain Backer have to say?
Blockchain Backer,
one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's pretty much sure that the bottom was in.
Yeah,
he admitted our victory.
Yeah,
so that was a debate early on. We were calling the bottom, and he was saying lower. And then there was a certain point when he said he was going to call, say, okay, my thesis has been invalidated, and I guess today was that day, and I wasn't even there. Dang it!
Dang it! And I was really happy to hear that too, because I shot my entire load when we hit that 17 and 16 mark.
Yeah.
So
Interesting visual.
Yeah, it felt great. And you know, I'm just like, now I'm ready to like deploy a bunch of money into altcoins, and I'm trying to weed through all the like chosen like OP. I bought some OP, I bought some Mina. Those have been doing good. As you mentioned, I feel like this layer 2 narrative is going to be super strong.
It is. Nick, Justin and I were talking this morning about the Ethereum ecosystem and how much stronger it's getting. The layer 2 and zero knowledge narrative, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I do think it's going to be strong in this cycle. We're going to talk about some of those later here in the show. Before we got a couple more macro things. And then we're going to get into the stablecoin wars, and then we're going to get into some mid-tier altcoins, and then some really deep altcoins, and I'll share out where you guys can get a lot of that information, because it was good stuff. I was up well past my bedtime last night.
I was watching.
Hey, Chemistry Bro, if you're on the stream today, I'm hosting on Around the Blockchain. You will get a wrench if you show up in chat.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's bullish.
But I'll take it away.
He said, I do watch every day. I'm just usually at my desk trading and 3D modeling, so I chat less on Around the Blockchain.
You're a model and a scientist?
I gave Mike the wrench on the live stream this morning, and I took it away from Gensler. So
wait, how did he get it back? I had taken it away from Gensler.
Well, I gave it to him, and then I took it back.
Yeah, don't
all
do
in
that.
the same show.
He lost. He was getting way too chatty and confident and cocky, and I was like, all right, look, you can't. You can't be that cocky.
You can't get PNC on the
right,
stream.
especially with a name like that. I mean, I know it's not the real Gary Gensler, but you know,
you never know.
It's always funny when Ben's like, "We got Gary Gensler in the chat."
Yeah, exactly.
You took away Gary's no action release. That was rude.
Dang, man.
Yeah, I dug into him a little bit there.
Can we get ISO on the dinosaur?
Why are you obsessed with this? I guess that's what happens when you have kids.
You know, I used to be a puppeteer when I was a teenager.
Really?
I can see that 1,000%.
I was in a traveling children's Bible study show, and I was a T-Rex. Yep.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised one bit. Look, you're even wearing green still. Like, you got it in your blood.
Yeah.
Let's see him.
Nick's former lives. That could be a whole YouTube channel in and of itself. I saw that picture. I'm sure you were at some kind of prop house kind of place, but the jacket and the pimp life crypto sunglasses.
That was
over there.
the Stranger Things season 3 wrap party.
Wow, look at you, Nick.
No.
Nick, like I said, you guys, he's got a lot more layers to him than you might think. Oh, what's
secrets?
I wanted to fucking. Oh, it won't zoom because it's not real
no focus.
eyes.
Yeah.
Sad.
Wah, wah, wah. All right, so let's keep this moving here. Speaking of inflation not working out in your favor, people are starting to wake up to this. I think a lot of people mentioned flu season as their realization, but people are waking up to the fact that $1 million isn't what it used to be. Over 40% of Americans now realize they need $5 million or more to have a comfortable retirement. Invest now, focus on building wealth, because nobody else is going to take care of it for you. That's exactly what you've heard echoed from everybody here today. I just thought this was pretty interesting. If we zoom back out a little bit, investors say they need $3 million or more to retire. So the pink here is people that think $1 million is, and these are obviously in different parts of the world. You know, obviously where you live matters, but the pink bars right there is what the amount of people that think $1 million is enough to retire. The gray through the blue here is 3 to 5 million. So now, obviously, that's the large majority of people all the way down here. Now, if you think you need more than 20 million, you're probably just already in a different category. Yeah. But less than $1 million, almost nobody believes at this. I mean, in Africa, maybe, you know. But other than that, less than $1 million just ain't going to cut it, because, I mean, it's not going to last long enough. They've inflated it away. You know, today, I would say, 10 million is the old 1 million. Being a millionaire today, a lot of times that just means, you own your house outright and you have a few stocks, and that's not going to be enough to get you through it. So real quick, before we start getting into alts and all that sort of stuff, I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys. Because I had an interest, somebody asked me what I thought I needed to retire. My answer was actually not a number, but what do you guys think is a number you need to retire comfortably, or what does it say? Retire with ease, starting with you, Nick.
Ooh, a number to retire with ease.
In Bitcoin, because we're not a fiat channel.
No, it needs to be in USD, because that's what we're comparing it to.
I'll do it in stablecoins, PJ.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about next.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's such a tough question. I know how I want my life to go when I'm older and retired, and I would like to own 2 pieces of property.
Okay.
Outright.
Right.
So that my actual month-to-month expenses are extremely low. So I think I can get away with about, between 3 and 5 million DAI
Yeah.
as a nest egg.
Okay.
But that's assuming that I have 2 properties that are owned outright.
There you go. Great answer there. And somebody else in the chat says, Wade in Idaho says a person can retire with 4 to 5 rental properties. What's your answer, Hannah? Next.
I would like to have enough for my children, no matter how many I have, to always be fine.
You want to have a lot of kids or not a lot of kids?
14.
I don't know.
You're
I
not-
want
yeah.
at least one boy and one girl. That's
There you go.
all that I know.
You got plenty of time to figure that out.
Yeah.
And you have plenty of time before you retire. So you're going to be working here for at least another 20 years. I know. No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There you go.
BJ, what do you got?
God, money. Yeah.
Push the buttons. Come on. There
I'm
it is.
pushing the fucking buttons.
Come on, man.
If it's
Yeah, you
USD,
can't curse like that.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I'm a
We're
potty
never going to
mouth.
get out of this basement if we
BJ's
don't get monetized.
I
He's
know.
been demonetized his whole life.
I would probably honestly say 10 million with the
Oof.
rate of inflation right now, and then switching to CDBCs and everything else. But I don't think you'll be able to save that if you stay in fiat.
No.
Like under any circumstance.
Sure.
I mean, they're gonna put the longevity of life may shorten, but we know the longevity of savings possibility is definitely going to shorten. But if you're sticking filthy fiat, I'd probably say 10 million at least.
Yeah.
At least.
TJ,
Chemistry Bro says, well, if I want to be mostly retired by 40, I'm going to go with like 5 to 10 million in assets at least. I'm 27 now, sitting on 6 figures in various cryptos, so I'll be disappointed in myself if I don't achieve at least that. Yeah, good thing there.
That's smart.
What were we going to say, Nick?
I have a question for you after Drew answers.
Okay, yeah, Drew, what do you got?
I need about 6 mil.
6 mil?
Yeah, I need about 6 mil, and I don't expect like an extravagant life.
No.
Just gonna buy a few houses
You can tell
and
by your shirts.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna buy more Hawaiian
I love
shirts.
those shirts.
Right.
You know, so I need a very constant flow of those going on. But
Yep.
I do plan on actually starting up a pretty big flock of sheep and different livestock and stuff like that. So I need more land to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Eyeballing some areas. I like Georgia a lot, and I'm liking Paulding. So I'm going to probably end up after this next bull run buying a much larger. I can get 42 acres for $700K.
Isn't that
Wow.
amazing?
Well, and
That's-
so interestingly, let us know in the chat. I've seen some interesting one. Friendly Neighborhood Pleb says 7 to 10 million. Crypto Live says 400,000 ADA in staking. Dude, what his mind says for me 1.5 million. I'm retiring in 7 years. So obviously where you are in relation to retirement makes a big difference. Somebody says 10 million. But I'm interested. Somebody finally did here for the basement. Great answer there, and that's actually more. That was close. When somebody asked me what my number was, it really wasn't a dollar number as much as it was a cash flow number. That's something that I've learned over, and that's a lot of people were alluding to it when you're talking about rental properties and real estate and things like that. I said if I can get up to a certain point, and it depends obviously on the way you want to live your life. What is ease? What is lifestyle? All that sort of stuff. If I can get to a point of say 200,000 to 300,000 in annual income from real estate cash flow, and like kind of what Nick said, owning the properties outright, then I'm not really worried, like all the assets in the bank and all the other assets in other places, I'm not really worried about. Obviously, I want that. I've got some pretty lofty goals of numbers I want to balloon to over time.
Yeah.
But if I can get my cash flow, or what other people call passive, it doesn't have to be 100% passive income, because people use that term very broadly.
Yeah.
And there's very, very few things that are truly passive income. Some of them most cash flow producing things take some level of active involvement, maybe just a lot less. Real estate generally is one of those that is about as close to passive as you can get generally if you have a management company doing the management side of things. But again, if you need a management company, is it truly passive? But that was my answer. If I can get 200 to 300K in passive revenue rolling in, having a handful of assets, it really doesn't matter if it's 2 to 10 million of value of the assets, because I know as long as you have something with a set supply, for me, it's real estate, Bitcoin, gold is what a lot of people look at. That's going to continue to rise in dollar value as they print more dollars, as they print more fiat. And also the price of rents are going to continue to go up as that happens as well. So your cash flow catches up. So to me, it was more of a cash flow number goal than it was I want $10 million in the bank, because that's the thing you deal with. If you have $5 million in the bank and you're having to draw that down over time, and this is where, obviously if you've got wealth management or portfolio management, and you're trying to put them in assets that are going to outpace inflation, that's getting more and more difficult to do these days. But if you can do that and you're not drawing down on the principal, obviously that's that's what you want to be able to do. That's what people think of as passive investment, that sort of stuff. So yeah, for me, it's a certain level of rental portfolio where I feel like, you know what? I'm not going to stop working anytime soon. I like to work. I think we're made to be productive. I think that's part of what keeps humans alive.
100%.
You know, a lot of people that I know that once they either hit a number, they retired and they were sick or dying within about 12 months of retiring.
Start moving, start dying.
Exactly. Yeah. Great way to say it. So yeah, I'm going to continue to work for a fair amount of time in my future, but I do want to have a certain amount of cash flow coming into where I feel like if I wanted to stop working and do something else, I could. But I'm going to be working and creating in some capacity, even if I don't need to, just because it's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. You know, I don't have to do a lot of the stuff that I do, but if I just sat at home and did nothing, like, what's the point of that?
I mean, to his credit, look at Charlie Munger. Dude's 99 years old. He's still working.
Yeah, and Palpatine looks younger.
Hey.
So how are we going to get there? What coins are we going to do this with?
Yeah, crypto. Can you get Crypto Stevo a wrench, please?
I will do it.
Yeah, you can do it right here. Perfect.
A christening. We need like a song for when people get their wrench.
Yeah, we need like a old English, like if you're upgrading your, you know, when you move from the feudal age to the whatever age in Age of Empires, and you get those sounds like dun, 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 dun. We need like one of those sounds on. Who played Age of Empires in here?
All of them.
BJ's raising his hand.
I lived that game, bro.
Let us know in the chat if you ever played Age of Empires. Age of Empires 2.
Age of Mythology.
No, AOA 3 is the better one.
3 was the 3. I can't remember.
2, Age of Kings, man.
If you weren't the Norse in Age of Mythology, get out. Get out.
I loved number 2.
I'm a big
RTS.
Red Alert.
Really,
2.
yeah, I'm a big RTS guy. I grew up on Command and Conquer, Red Alert, then Age of Empires, then original StarCraft, Brood War, and then eventually StarCraft 2. Like I was
TJ, we got to get a LAN party now. Now that I know this, because I was all about like Command and Conquer and Warcraft growing
Tesla
up.
Coil. That's where I learned what a Tesla coil was Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Yo, I came up to Nick my first week and I was like, do you know what a Tesla coil is? Like asking him about Nikola Tesla.
Yeah. I had no idea who Nikola Tesla was, but I do know if you get within certain distance of my perimeter of my thing, I'm going to zap that guy.
Yep.
I don't care if you have an attack dog. I don't care if you have a individual military guy. I don't care if it's a tank. Those things do some damage.
Yeah, they do.
TJ, can I have us look at one chart Johnny brought up this morning?
Johnny brought up a chart.
He did. He brought up this project called Radiant.
I've heard of
and I am starting.
You have what do you need me to look it up on?
Yeah, on CoinMarketCap. It's I mean, if you get a chance, but he was bringing up that one.
Well, you're forcing me right now, Drew. You kind of put me on the spot.
I don't know. I want to know top altcoins.
Radiant
How are we gonna make all these millions of dollars? I want to get the hot picks.
What time is it? Am I taking too long to get to it?
It's 2:15. We gotta get it. We gotta figure this out.
We're gonna skip the stablecoin wars. All right, so Radiant RXD, I assume.
Yes. Well, hold on.
No, that's a mineable one.
Yeah. Let me see.
Radiant Capital?
Yes, that's the one.
RDNT?
Yep.
Okay.
I want to see this one.
All right.
Because it's pretty new. It's about 6 months old. I think it's a $50 million market cap.
Yeah.
55. Yeah.
And
I love those.
I mean, they have a max supply. The total supply is smaller than the max supply, which I found kind of odd.
Bullish.
Yeah, but like it just seems like a new narrative coin. It's on Arbitrum, so that's I'm thinking I'm gonna make my entry into the Arbitrum ecosystem with kind of involvement in this.
Get that entry.
But this is just, like I said, a speculative small portion of my portfolio that I'm looking to do with.
Yeah, careful with these guys.
Yeah, this is a very small play, but I just have
63% APR. Drew, what have you done?
It's in and out. Okay, I'm in and out. That's just
Drew. What have you done? Okay, this is the first time ever. This is not financial advice.
Yeah. No, it's not. This is an advice for how to interact with networks that can get you an Arbitrum airdrop.
Yeah. Do not YOLO your personal funds into this coin for the love of God.
I'm thinking
but
about it.
Go ahead, real quick, and then I'll spin through the stablecoin wars, and then we're gonna get into.
I'm gonna be using like 4% of my entire portfolio to spread out amongst these small layer 2 type plays. And, amongst like, Arbitrum, DAG is one of them. And then I'm going to try this Radiant thing out. Not a bunch, just
Drew,
a little
if you can
bit.
go 1 week without saying the word DAG, I will pay you
it's
several hundred Dogecoin.
Several hundred Dogecoin?
Which you can flip into that project, but you have to go 1 week without saying
that's
DAG.
like $6.
Oh, come on.
There it is.
Yeah, focus. Okay. Oh, yeah.
TJ.
Yeah, no, that was great. I really appreciate you bringing that up. So because we do have to get some. I have about 10 tabs here of altcoin picks for you guys, and I've been teasing it the whole time. So I guess we should. I'm going to blow through some of these. This was just an easy one. This was, again, fascinating. If you guys didn't watch Around the Blockchain yesterday,
the basement,
definitely go watch it and subscribe to that channel as well. We talked about some of the things that are coming with Coinbase. What they're doing with the IEX is fascinating to me. What's happening with their base layer 2. All of this stuff is interconnected. And here we go. Coinbase is adding support for Eurocoin, an Ethereum network ERC20. Do not send assets over to other networks or your funds may be lost, yada, yada, yada. So the stablecoin wars have begun. So now that Coinbase supports US dollar coin and Euro coin. And we're seeing clearly they're going to be the chosen one for not necessarily the issuers. If I have to imagine, I'd be interested to see if Circle's issuing Euro coin. We should look into that. But Circle is the issuer of USDC, the US dollar coin. Coinbase is the facilitator or the distributor of it. They're going completely from central bank to the citizens by bypassing the customary banking system and getting a direct line of capital from central banks to individuals. And this is going to get very, very interesting over the next few years. And then Alex Gladstein, head of the HRF, is it HRF? Yeah, HRF Human Rights Foundation. In true Star Wars fashion, as we were talking about yesterday, well, except for it should be a period, not a question mark. But the stable coin wars have begun, much like the Clone Wars.
He's the head of the HRF.
What's going to be funny with this is because on the Ethereum
chief strategy,
the bear is that I think Ethereum is fundamentally flawed for so many reasons.
Oh my God!
Is what's going to happen is we're going to move to Ethereum for all these CDBCs. And then that's where the collapse is going to happen because everybody is talking about, a cyber terrorism event where everybody's going to get liquidated. But what better way to do it than with Ethereum? Because it's already broken. People are expecting it to break. And then when it does break, then they move in with their off-chain CDBC. And that's how everything switches. It's conspiracy is anything.
It is. I think if you dig into some of these other solutions on Ethereum and you start to look at, again, some of these coins we're going to pull up, you might start to change your opinion because I know you know a lot of the differences between monolithic and a lot of that kind of stuff, which, again, I'd like to get into today. I don't know if we're going to have time. But a lot of these very creative tech solutions that are now being implemented into Ethereum via layer 2s, via things like Arbitrum and Optimism and a lot of these other really cool tech things, a lot of things that have privacy and like plug and play data things, the zero knowledge stuff. It's going to change Ethereum fundamentally. And I think it's going to create an insane network effect. I've never actually been more bullish on Ethereum than I am right now. And, I know you love Cardano. Sorry, Corey. I like Cardano too, but I'm getting less and less excited about it as I'm looking at all the other stuff.
It feels like watching grass grow.
Well, and I'll be honest, part of my discouragement with it is some of the stuff we've experienced when it comes to trying to use it in development in different, actually implementing it and using it in different marketplaces. Not the interoperability, but the way everything works together and the way the ecosystem is built out starts to really have some insane network effects when you get to Ethereum. If they can solve the scaling and the throughput and some of the privacy issues, which they're doing faster than any other chain I'm seeing, it will really start to take off, especially in the short term, next 5 to 10 years. So, all right. So the stable coins have already begun. And this is something I was talking about yesterday. I wanted to really show you guys. This is DeFi Llama. You can go and you can pull up stablecoin. I guess I was trying to zoom this in. Pull me off the screen real quick because I'm trying to show, or maybe I'm going to have to. You can't see the right side of this, which is really the interesting part. I'm going to have to pull this in a little bit.
Bring it on in.
There. Whoa, not that far. Here we go.
There it goes.
And then see if I can zoom back in. Now, there we go.
All right.
All right. So this is just as of April 2021, right? Okay. These are the market caps of all the different stablecoins: USDT, USDC, BUSD, DAI, USDST. Like, there's way more than a lot of people realize. So this purple line here is Tether. That blue line way down here is USDC as of April 2021. So not that long ago, 2 years ago, approximately. Huge lead for Tether, and it was running away from everybody else. And then, we had Binance and DAI kind of hanging in there. This one fell off the map there. That was probably Terra was making a run as a algorithmic stablecoin.
Where in the world is Do Kwon?
But look at how fast they've closed that gap. Mostly through regulatory pressures, mostly through regulation by enforcement, forcing people to get in the United States to get out of Tether and get into USD coin. And you can clearly see the battle has not only begun, it's been raging for the past 2 years. And they've closed the gap. Now, the gap has never been smaller between USDC and USDT.
What's the yellow line?
Yellow line is BUSD.
Okay.
You know, so Binance was starting to make some headway too. And you can see right here, December 2022 is when they started flooding Binance and attacking Binance and going after Paxos and all this stuff. And then boom, like a lot of people have taken money out of the Binance stablecoin and moved it either into Tether or into USDC. So USDC, the clear chosen winner of the West. Now we've got Coinbase rolling out a Euro coin. So again, I was talking about this yesterday. I just thought it's interesting to see it visualized. You can see where is this? Right here was, what is this date?
July 20.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. I'm just going to, why is it not showing at the top? Yeah, July. It says exactly at the top, but I can't. There, hold on.
Yep,
Yeah, July 23rd, 2022. You can see that was the point in time they were at the closest. Tether did start to open back up a little bit. And a lot of this BUSD is going into Tether. You can see the direct inversion. Oh, gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. You can see right as BUSD is dropping here, you start to see UST start ticking up right there.
Yeah.
So people that are converting out of BUSD are going into Tether. So this is going to be something to watch as the next few years go on. It's continually developing story there. So there you go. All right. Maybe I should save this for another day and just talk altcoins.
Because you need to get in there.
Yeah. All right, we'll get rolling here. If you guys want to hear some altcoin picks, we got 467 watching right now. Smash the likes. We only got 200 likes. Here we go. Altcoin picks that I am interested in and keeping an eye on. Altcoin built to boost Bitcoin explodes as veteran crypto investor says overlooked opportunities await. If you guys haven't been following the ordinal stuff, this is something that I think is pumping just in reaction to that. STX, a Bitcoin-focused crypto asset, is in the midst of a powerful price jump as the overall digital asset markets continue to turn green. Stacks is a layer 1 blockchain that aims to boost the utility of Bitcoin by enabling smart contracts, DeFi activity, and NFTs and other applications to the flagship cryptocurrency. This is very fascinating to me when it comes to the logic of Bitcoin maximalists. They've been talking about smart contracts coming to Bitcoin for years. They've been saying, oh, Ethereum doesn't matter. Like when people say, oh no, Ethereum's interesting because it introduced the concept of smart contracts. Like, no, that's an S coin and it doesn't, nothing's interesting about that.
Right.
You can do smart contracts on Bitcoin, and now here's something else is doing smart contracts on Bitcoin and they hate it too because it's an alt. It's got its own ticker, it's got its own coin. Anything with its own coin that's not Bitcoin, they don't see it as free market option. They don't see it as free market competition. They don't see it as moving the industry space forward and creating new technologies and creating diversity of thought and talk and application. They just see one coin and one coin only. We don't want option. We don't want free choice. We don't want, free market, which again, I don't understand. But
okay, Tolkien.
Unbelievable.
That's just so anyways, as he named Stacks and Lightning's Bitcoin most popular payment sidechain, which again, you could argue that Litecoin as a sidechain is this layer 2 is an altcoin. I've heard that theory made very well and eloquently from Paul Pui from Edge Wallet. And like if you're being intellectually honest, they really love Lightning, which again is not what it needs to be yet to get to any scale of adoption. But they're gonna crap on anything like Stacks. It just I don't follow the logic there. But Stacks, one to keep an eye on. Let's see, there was a couple other ones in here, but anyway, all right, we're gonna move through that one, of course. Stacks, I'm gonna be very fascinated. Things on Bitcoin, again, development, adding new utility to the chain. Ordinals have definitely moved that forward in a lot of different ways. Let's see, what do they have in here? Cody.
Ooh.
Oh my
Cody.
There you go. Shout out to I know BJ loves Cody, right?
There you go, BJ.
A little bit.
So here, these are things to keep an eye on. Small caps, micro caps whose value are under 100 million. Cody is one you've probably heard about. Until the market decides whether Djed is a success or not, Cody's fortunes will depend on Cardano. If you're bullish on Cardano, then you are going to be bullish on its stablecoin developments. Obviously, as stablecoins come into a marketplace, they create DeFi opportunities. You can't really have a strong DeFi market without a stablecoin. You heard Nick reference DAI of MakerDAO. That was really one that took off and it's much more democratically diversified when it comes to its backing. It's not all backed by one government or one currency or one asset. So
and it's over collateralized.
It's collateralized, yeah.
Over collateralized.
UN Marshall or Unmarshall, another one you've probably heard us reference before. Blockchain infrastructure project uses APIs to query blockchain data, especially on NFTs. This
Is there
one
anything like S Marshall?
That's a joke that I'm not getting?
Sarah Marshall.
Oh,
my
Sarah
God.
Marshall. No, I forgot about that one.
That wasn't good work, BJ. You should try.
Come
it
on,
again.
that was good. That was a good response. Come on. Okay, unmarshal man. Joe, this is another one.
Hey.
Trader Joe.
So here you go. Live on Arbitrum. You guys were asking about things that you could interact with that could get you into the Arbitrum airdrop, the Arbitrum network. This is one that again could be strong when it comes to that stuff. So Trader Joe, it's native to Avalanche as a DeFi platform. Now it's also on Arbitrum. Aave is by far the largest DeFi protocol on Avalanche. Currently it holds 35% of TVL. Again, DeFi Llama, great resource. That's the one I was just using to show you guys the stablecoin stuff. It's a really good resource when it comes to looking at TVL, when it comes to looking at different DeFi protocols. We know I'm a big believer that we're going to see a huge resurgence in DeFi happening on multiple different chains after the insane breakdown we've seen from centralized stuff. Like FTX collapse got a lot of people scared. A lot of people got way too comfortable having other people custody their funds, which is, in my opinion, it's a hard lesson to learn. I feel bad for anybody who lost a lot of money. We lost a lot of money in Celsius. You live and you learn. But DeFi protocols, DeFi applications, DeFi trading is getting better and better and better. The use case, the use case has never been more clear, and the user experience has never been better. Still has a long way to go, but getting into if you believe in Avalanche, if you believe in Phantom, if you believe in Cosmos, if you believe in Polkadot, if you believe in any of these other smart or Cardano, like we just mentioned, if you believe in any of these, and you start to see an ecosystem emerging, if you get involved in some of these. A lot of times the first things that really start taking off on these ecosystems are DEXs. And if you get in and you make a few trades, if you have the capability to do it, if you're new at home, if you're in the attic, some of these, which is what we call the YouTube chat here. Not saying this isn't for you. I know the basement people are down for this. We're true degens down here, but this is not necessarily, if you're new and if you never bought, put it this way, if you're just buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, you should probably keep reading, keep researching, and don't go straight to like, how do I buy, how do I bridge on Arbitrum over to Avalanche and do a Trader Joe swap? Don't start with that. Start with understanding Bitcoin, read and accumulating it, reading it, understanding it, because it really is just like a Bitcoin is built block by block by block. Your knowledge and your understanding of blockchain, at least for me, was built slowly over time, block by block by block. I'd have one moment like, boom, okay, I understand how this works. And, the first time I ever mined something like, boom, I understand really proof of work in a completely different way than I ever did before. And then first time you lock up liquidity on an exchange or on a DeFi platform, like, oh man, this is wild. Like I just put this in this pool and it's, oh, okay, I understand how this works. The first time we've actually created an ERC20 before and then provided liquidity for it for ourselves and done a lot of different things. Don't listen to that, Gary Gensler.
Gensler in the chat?
Gensler, no, I'm just kidding. It was a joke. So anyway, there you go. Trader Joe, why I like Trader Joe. It offers for the DEX of its size is great. It looks very undervalued compared to its peers when you look at the TVL, which I agree. Like if you look at volume and market cap and then TVL, like TVL stands for total value locked. That means people that are putting money and confidence into this, it's a strong metric. It's not as strong as market cap, but it's kind of like that when you're looking at DeFi stuff. And if you can see volume and other things that are, and market cap's down, but volume in TVL is up, generally speaking, that's a good way to identify an opportunity. Chemistry Bro says Arbitrum is so fast. To be honest, I moved some stables into Bybit on ARB, and it literally took 2 seconds versus 1 minute on ETH. Just annoying that bridging coins to ARB takes.
That is annoying.
It is. The bridging factors are very annoying. Bridging anything isn't. I mean, there's some that are easier than others, but it's annoying and sketchy, and that's the other thing that's fun about crypto. Or I don't know if it's fun. I find it fun where it's you never really know if you're doing it right until it works. And you're always worried you're going to lose something or it's going to fail or you're going to send, I was sending some Cosmos around last night. And you always do test transactions. But same thing. I had the great experience. I was like, man, that was so fast. And it cost 0.00 fees. That's insane. Anyway, so Trader Joe, there you go. There's a few for you. This, how far in are we time wise?
2:30.
2:30. Oh my gosh, guys! I was just about to get to the good stuff.
There's always tomorrow.
Oh, no, you clicked off of it.
Yeah,
always tomorrow.
Yeah, this is an AI generated thing that actually reads this entire thread. Here, we'll tease them a little bit. Can you got my audio?
Hold on. Did I be scared?
Boop, bop, boop.
Why am I not scared?
Boop, bop, beep.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. I wasn't ready. You were ready, but I wasn't ready. I gotta mute this, Esh.
There it is.
Mute this. All right.
There
For God's sake.
There it is. I want to hear this.
Here you go. We're not going to have time. This is a long thread. This is what kept me up past my bedtime. And then there's, we'll save this for tomorrow, maybe.
9 minutes long.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we're not going to. I just want you to hear. This is kind of how it starts, but.
A battle of ZK, roll-up, and modular projects. But what the hell are zero snarky and optimistic roll-ups? And why does it matter?
Meta thoughts.
In this thread, I'll explain. First, what they are. Second, why they are relevant. Third, 8 interesting ZK roll-up and modular projects released. Fourth, 8 upcoming ZK roll-up and modular projects. What they are.
So she actually goes through and reads the entire thread. I won't have you guys do that because I was going to just skip to the good stuff. I will retweet this for those that want to be ahead of the curve.
Never mind.
Don't do it, BJ. You have to stay monetized, sir.
Yeah.
Here we go. In the middle of this thread, there's a list of a bunch of different. For those of you guys who wanted to know, is all things ZK. You know, obviously coins we know: Matic, IMX. That's Immutable X, Mina Protocol, Loop Ring, Zero. You got Metis. You got Zen. Let's see. Dusk is another one. A lot of people know. Horizon. Pirate Chain. You got a lot of mute. Pivx. I actually interviewed the Pivx founders back in 2018, I believe. I was back in the Young Dumb Crypto days. I don't think I ever published that interview. It was before I even knew how to control sound at conferences. That's when I learned, like, oh man, we need a handheld microphone. Labs will not work for this environment. Secret, a lot of people know. Rose. So anyway, there's a bunch right there, but those are some deeper picks. These are for some of you guys to research on your own. We can dig into this tomorrow.
We'll be digging into that.
I may or may not be. I don't want. I hate it when I pull really good stuff and then you guys cover it when I'm not on the show and I don't get a chance to talk about it.
Maybe I should wait till Monday then.
Yeah, maybe we'll save it for Monday. We also, I've got some other good stuff. Spotify doing NFTs for tomorrow, so it's a different horizon. Different horizon.
Right.
I
can do layer zeros.
There's 2 horizons.
I want to go into layer zeros tomorrow.
Do it. Yeah. Layer zeros. Like Dot and Cosmos.
Dot, Cosmos.
Did I talk about
DAG?
DAG, of course.
HBAR.
Well, no Doge for you. All right, guys. We love you all. You're the best. We really appreciate you sticking around. I saved some good picks for the end. Go dig and learn on your own. Zero knowledge proof is going to be a trend. Ethereum layer 2 scaling solution is going to be a trend. Ethereum, I think, is going to perform extremely well. So there you go. Smash the likes. We got 400, more than 420, almost 500 people in here right now. There's no excuse for you guys not all to stop and hit the likes. I just gave you, if you just watched the end of the stream, there's enough information there for you to get rich in this next bull run. I love all of you guys. We've got MMHA, we got Crypto Sauce, we got Crypto Stevo. This is the Bitcoin way. Solar Miner in Spain. Look at that. Sofa King Cryptic, Nakodu, Big Hands Dan, Crimson Caravan Company, Cryptononymous, Dave Digital, Joseph Cupidors, Royo, Wade in Idaho, Dude, What Does Mine Say, Corey Harden, It's Bungalow Bill, Chemistry Bro, Manawalk, Hard Fork Crypto, Razmataz, MM Merch Hands. You guys are all the best. Drop a comment if you don't. If you have any questions, let me know your favorite zero knowledge pick. How about that? Ones you guys like, dexes you're playing with. How do you get Arbitrum? We'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right. Bye.
See ya.